So in part 3, if you are on this type of situation and you are dealing with the lesson and something happens and the cue is like this, what will be your talk about? Will you talk about things previously done? You will prioritize the things you have to prioritize. In these circumstances, if you are with your client and you are coming up like this, what will you remind them while you are in the part 3 and while you are in the client? It's not that you will just deal with the thing. You will start going into the itty bitty. Okay, in this case you can put your handbrake, you can relax. So then again you will give them more guidance. Oh, okay, when there is a 4 or 5 car in front of you like this, you can do this rest. But I will advise you that if you are first in the queue, then you don't do it like that, because we always wanted car to keep moving. So you will start giving them more driving skills, more driving expertise that they can start learning. So when you wanted them to change lane, they've done it like this, they've followed the routine, they followed the mirrors. Well done, you're doing it perfectly fine, good judgment. This is feedback. This is the, so these are the things they will give them more skills. And if they check the mirrors here now, oh well done, you've checked it, or well done, you've stopped. But that's a bit more harsh. I've done it. This woman was about to cross, and now I am on Sakar lane. What do you think? So in this case, if they've stopped like that and you start going into the adoption, or you did this break and that, you have to see the circumstances. They had no choice. She was about to cross, you didn't see it, she was jumped in, and then the light got changed, and then before, and things like that. So you always have to prioritize the things and then go into the adoption as well. Then moving forward, if your learner is in that other stage and is coming from back, you should make them well prepared for something as well, that they are looking both sides, they are scanning. And if they would have been a bit more prepared, they would not have. Then you have to again see to it that the way I was telling you and the way you telling your learner like that, and you kind of talking something else and something happens in that case, then again you have to see to it that how much for this doing is my involvement in the in this happening. Like one of the example that I have to brake and it was the lights changed. Now in the overall, that when you say the lesson plan and the risk management and the teaching strategy, the teaching strategy is this, that you teach a strategy for the time that will work for the learner for longer term. So if you don't go into those itty bitties and you say I'm just dealing with one thing and that's the lesson plan, that lesson plan is not acceptable then. In the drive, when you start moving, once you start going round the left right, and once you start getting into the move, you have to see to it that how many mistakes this learner is making. Now here, if they are in this situation and you are watching ahead, and if you are prepared and you plan, what will you tell them? In this case, I will tell my learner that what other things that you can gather from this junction for your driving, that when you come across and do this, and I'm expecting my learner to see to the next road and say, Mr. Butt, I will not go into that road until that road is clear. And if they don't know, I will tell them. Yes, and because that's something that people do it, everybody else do it. That's not in your lesson plan, that's not in your exam sheet of the learner, that's not in your core competencies, but those are the techniques you are giving. So now if the road is clear, I will go in. Otherwise, if I go from here, I will be going into the box junction, or you will be going into there, and while you stop here, you can start making them that don't worry about the car behind, because you think that the filter arrow is green and people will think that why you not going, and now they're changing. These are the kind of frustration that every single driver in other way of the life, if they are learner or they're not, these are the things, concerns, and we people go around making mistakes, things like that. We're doing it like this. And look, them two cars, they are on the box junction now, but they are worried. They're trying to hide with each other, even though they're full license holder. Why? embarrassment. Oh, why did you block it? They know the rules of that box junction. Every driver knows the rules of that junction. The white car comes in, and when I turn around, I will show you. And the other one came and he trying to hide away. So you need to give that driver of yours more points. See, that driver has gone into the other side. He knew that I've done wrong. I've blocked. The other car will not be able to go like myself, and these things. So when you start giving these type of things to the learner, what will happen? They are started picking up things. And this is the confidence that you deliver into the client. What is the definition of the confidence? Confidence is defined, but so many other things in it. Like when you have something maybe not better than somebody else, you will feel down, which is not good, but under these things are there. If somebody has a better car and you don't, if somebody has a better clothes and you don't, and if somebody has more money and you don't, these are the people think that less confident. And in this, the driver is less confident. Why? Because they're not sure about things. They don't know that much knowledge and information. And also, even though they have the embarrassment of all those feelings going through, the things they are bit weak doing it, or they can't do it, or they don't know how to do it. And those, even though it's not happening in front of them, but still they start feeling that if that happens, if something comes up there and I can't do it, I will feel embarrassed. And that's the confidence that will take away from the learner. Now, once they're going down here and your lesson plan is junction, your lesson plan is something else, you have talked about the previous road. So in reality, part 3, you have to go through with the learner inch by inch, bus stop, litter bin, next junction, next 500 yards, motorway sign, next right, left, lights, whichever is more relevant with your going. You talk like from here, the relevant for me is pedestrian crossing, people on the left hand side, the bus stop, the bus. Then nothing relevant. I will just talk something else to make the learner come back. Then a bit relevant is because the width of the road and the car coming from the other side is the center line or the hazard line. There are hazard line on the other way as well, center line and hazard line. Why is a bit concerned, and why would I start delivering the learner a bit more information for that? Then for normal car, you feel a bit more easy and you can go. And if a heavy bus or truck or big lorry comes from that side, the space is more tight. They have to slow down more. So I will tell my learner that get some more information from this road, that if the road width is like this and you come across in your normal drive when you pass or when you start driving by yourself independently, if the road width is like that, car, you will drive like this, no problem. If a big lorry, big bus comes, this scene will be different on this road. So I am delivering the learner more knowledge, more information, more understanding. And then soon after that, even if I am in the middle of conversation, I will stop. I will let them deal with the roundabout. You have to see to that as well. Why they say that, you've been talking too much and you was intervening the learner when they were doing something else and you was over instructing the learners. Why? Because when they're doing something and when the prioritizing things comes, you're still talking, you can't finish, you can't stop your talking there. So that's why your marking go down as well in part 3. Now, up till here, if you go into that and if you see to it, and if they're doing like this now and they're checking mirrors and all, well done, perfect way doing it. I will do it like this. Now, until don't need to buy through, come in and out like this situation again. But if somebody's coming, you ease off a bit more. That's what the teaching is. That's the teaching strategy. The word that they're using after the risk management for the core competencies, which you've got 24 marks, and you people get only 10, 15, 11 when you come to fail. 15 above, you will pass. That's what the teaching strategy is, that you make your strategies for the road that you are going through. Even though if I'm going through here, I will talk about nothing else. If it's okay with junction, I will talk about this cat. That save the animals. If it's good with junction, and then again, not just saying this to save the animals and all that, I will go to the other part of this as well, that I will tell them, if you go in faster road, if you go in faster speed and an animal comes in front of you, don't try to bite through and don't try to brake and don't try to save that animal, because you will go into bigger consequences. Remember that as well. When it's a safe and situation like this, especially local roads and all that, try to be that sensible that you can see. And if there is something like this situation I'm talking about, anything else, you're going faster and there's more cars, busy road and human beings around, and I know it's a sad, life is life, but then it's a better saving the human beings and animals. And then once you get the animals on the road and you started worrying about before, no, you just carry on going with the normal speed and they will move away from you. So this is the whole of the explanation for that, things that they should do in driving. Now if you leave it in middle, that's where you come across and they say you did not give the pupil a whole complete information for that scenario, like box junction, turning right, and when can you stop in the box junction and when can you not stop in the box junction even though the oncoming cars is blocking your way. These are the things. And even though if that cat, if I just tell them that, oh, you know, save the animals and all that, and I don't tell them the next side and they're going over 70 miles per hour and they see the deer or they see any animals and they start braking harsh and saving and they have the consequences, that means I've not given them the information. So all these things is a matter with the part 3. Part 3 especially means that you are a discipline and you making somebody go into discipline, and when somebody is undisciplined, how will you make them go back into discipline as well? So basically giving the negative part of the driving as well and positive part as well. So always focus on to the positive side, but I'll give them the negative side as well, that this can happen as well, and if that happens, you deal like that. So always your position in the teaching industry and in the instructor and in the part 3, it should be a person who's fixing things. He knows how did they happen, but he's trying to fix them. But on the other side, he's given that information as well, that how did they got unfixed, how did they got into this problem. So suppose if somebody is gone into the right and they see the road is after that is blocked and they have to stop on the box junction and they feel embarrassed and all that, you tell them that as well, that before you go into that, you need to look into that road, and if you don't, that will be the consequences, that will be the things. And to avoid that, I'm giving you the fixed solution, that you look into the road, and if you don't look, then you will go into this side. So positive, negative, fixing throughout your driving with the proper logic and live example, like in the teaching that they say, have you used the live example, have you given them enough time to reflect their driving and things like that. And if you don't give them enough time and they're making mistake, and you thinking about the lesson plan and you thinking going back around on that, and then you're thinking about they done so many mistakes and they carry on doing mistakes, or you're not giving them time to think about those, to reflect it and then come back with a better position, you're just telling them something else, and this is where you can go back, and this is where your score will go down. Keep watching, and whole of these videos that you're watching, especially on the academy, maybe 1 or 2 videos will seem like that this is not Mr. Butt who's teaching me, this is not Mr. Butt who's telling me how to pass part 3. This is actually me as a Mr. Butt talking with the client. That's me, you know what I mean? So this is you talking mine in terminology and delivering that lesson on the day of your test, and then you will pass. Always the whole of things, listen for information and the other things, 1 or 2 video, pick them up as your favorite to pass.